The future of some of the most common drones sold and bought in the U.S. is really up in the air right now. Good chance you own one made by the Chinese company DJI. House passing a ban on them, tucked into the National Defense Bill. Does still need approval from the Senate and the President. Joining us now to break this down a little bit more, NUAIR President and CEO Ken Stewart. Ken, it's always good to see you. Thanks for being here and helping us try to make sense of this one.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you for having me. It's always a challenge following everything through the House, the Congress, et cetera, and see what the outcomes finally look like.
So, Ken, I've kind of compared this for people to what's gone on with the ban on TikTok. The government, the U.S. government, is very concerned China's using these to gather information. Clearly, China denies it. I mean, is that kind of a fair, simple comparison, would you say?
Sure. I mean, the biggest difference probably between the two is you have 100 million subscribers on TikTok, and there are probably, 1.6 million drones here in the U.S., of which 80% roughly is DJI. So, but they do, they capture a lot of data. You can almost think they're, through photogrammetry, or creating a digital twin of the U.S.
80%, though, that's kind of the number of the market that DJI has. Wow.
And yeah, they've been at it for a long time.
This didn't come out of the blue, though. This is kind of almost like a next step, would you say?
That's correct. We've already seen, for example, if you're a public safety agency, you have a federal grant or have federal dollars, you've not been allowed to buy Chinese drones for some time now. So this is kind of like the next step in a process that's been bubbling for quite some time.
How likely would you say it is that these drones could be rendered useless? And actually, how would that be? How would they not be usable?
Sure. So I think it really comes down to what the final language is. As you mentioned, the bill's gone through the House, is over to the Senate, and really see what the final language is. But, there generally is a grandfather clause in most of these bills, once they get passed, that allow people to use the ones they have for a period of time. And then, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, either be forced to upgrade or move to a different platform at that point. But, many times, especially with a lot of our public safety agencies, a year from now, they would be buying a new drone. They would probably have gone through one already.
Gotcha. Would you say how much of an economic impact could this have in the U.S. and what about development of the drone system and highway, which clearly NUAIR has been working so hard on the past several years to create? What would be an impact there?
Sure. Well, I mean, it takes a large player out of the industry, at least here in the U.S. But I think the other part is it really, this is something that the region here in Southern New York has been focused on for a long time. Empire State Development has put a lot of effort, as well as the governor here in the state. Part of the reason NUAIR, Genius New York, Tech Garden, we've now got the New York Smart I-Corridor Tech Hub between Syracuse and Buffalo, Micron. It's really about establishing this high-tech manufacturing region to really develop a supply chain here in the U.S. that, we make us less reliant on other regions. And when you think about these drones, it's really the components that make up the drones and the supply chain component, not just the where the manufacturer is located, but where the components manufactured as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know DJI obviously didn't see this just out of the blue. They knew something like this was coming down the pike. There's a workaround possible to this ban that would just essentially kind of make this almost moot to some degree, or not?
I don't know. I would think there wouldn't be something like that drastic right out the gate from this. But I think, I think this is primarily a U.S. issue. And I think beyond that, if I were DJI, I would probably be looking for somebody to license the technology to start manufacturing the drones somewhere else, if they still want to focus on the U.S. market.
So last question for you, and then I'll let you go. What do I do if I own a drone or two or three that are made by DJI? What do I do right now? Do I just kind of sit back and wait and see how this all, like you said, language and how this actually comes out? And if it goes through the Senate and the President?
I would say everybody should reach out to the representative. I mean, that's what they're here for. They're here to represent you and what your concerns are. And if you have concerns, you should reach out to your local representative. But, really wait and really understand what the final language is going to look like and really determine what the impact to you is going to be.
Ken Stewart, I always enjoy catching up with you. Thanks for being with us on this one. And, yeah, we'll see where this one goes.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for reaching out. Appreciate your support.